Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm TheSimsSmith and today's video is a speed build inspired by Dutch townhouses. I started originally with just one townhouse, but then as I was building it, my boyfriend looked over and he said I should probably add some more. So eventually there's 3 townhouses in this build, and each one is styled differently from the other one. I didn't want them all to be the same. This one in particular, which I started off with, is quite modern on the inside, but calm colours, mostly blues, beiges, that sort of thing. And here I was trying to figure out windows. It took a while to figure out which ones looked best, but eventually I figured rounded ones looked nicest, and they've got the same colour scheme as the doorway, so it all matches and looks quite nice and contrasts well against the black that I choose for the exterior walls. Sad to say that I actually lost some footage of this video. I've lost about an hour and 22 minutes, so when it gets to the interior, it's missing most of the living room and bedrooms, but you do get to see it as I carry on building and adding a few little extra things. You get to see what I've done, you just don't actually get to watch me do it as I'm doing it, which is a shame. But it actually made my video shorter, which makes it a lot easier to render and upload, and also less for you guys to watch me fiddling about trying to figure out what on earth I'm actually doing with each room. But let me know if you guys prefer it that way, or if you'd rather me have everything in all of my videos, and in future I'll make sure that I don't lose footage, because that was really upsetting when I found out that that had happened. But, you know, can't really do anything about it now, so we just have to deal with what I've got, and hopefully you guys still enjoy watching me with the bits that I have. And I was just figuring out layout, because all these rooms were quite long, and I actually did Google Dutch townhomes to see what the floor plans look like, and lots of them do just have really like long open plan areas. So each house is slightly different in the way that I've set them out. This one has the kitchen and dining room on the bottom floor and the living room on the second floor, and then the third floor and fourth floor, sorry, have bedrooms on them. And I think I have 3 bathrooms in total, so the second, third, and fourth floor all have their own bathroom. And each bedroom I've tried to sort of style around different Sims. There is a teenage girl's room, which is sort of lavender in colour scheme. There's a young child's room. It could be a boy or a girl's room. I have made it blue, so gender stereotyping, you probably would assume that it's for a boy, but it could be for a girl. She could be into her blues. I like blue, so, you know, not gonna judge anyone for that. I was trying to figure out this light in this bit and it wasn't happening because it's too long, which is a shame because I do really like that light. I don't know if I keep it. I don't know, maybe I do. I think I might have actually, and then I playtest it and I think you can, I know my sim can still use the table and still eat from it, so maybe I do keep that lighted. We'll see later on. So here I am doing the interiors, finally, but this is the only bit of the interior you get to see me doing. Sorry, again, but you know, not much I can do. So I quite enjoyed doing all the different interiors, thinking of all the different families that were going to live in each different house. So this one was quite a large family of 3 kids, because there's on the top floor there is the master bedroom for the parents and also a nursery. I was originally going to just do a little girl's bedroom to contrast from the little boy's bedroom, but then I thought I'll do a gender neutral room, and as I was doing it I thought, oh, maybe I'll just make it into a nursery to have like a new baby on the way, because that seems quite a nice little idea, and I quite like doing nurseries. They're a bit different, and even though babies are just crying furniture, you know, it's still nice to have a room to put the crying furniture in and make it sort of to a very basic personality, because the babies don't really have traits or personalities. They are pretty boring, to be honest, which sounds awful, but in The Sims, babies are boring. In real life, babies aren't boring. But maybe in the future, if they do happen to add in toddlers, nurseries will be a bit more applicable and a bit more enjoyable to, well, use and have a function rather than just be nice decorative areas in your home that your sim rarely goes into. Because if you're anything like me, when you're actually playing the game and you have a piece of crying furniture in your family, you tend to just move it around the house using build mode anytime it sort of cries a lot, because you need to have it near your sim, who might not be able to just run upstairs every 5 minutes to look after it and might want to carry on doing things with their life, like skill building and cleaning and all that sort of thing that Sims have to do to keep a normal life going. So hopefully they had toddlers. I'd quite like them too. I know lots of people have mixed views on that, and some people don't want toddlers, some people do want toddlers, but I quite enjoyed them in The Sims 3. I think they'd be quite a nice addition in The Sims 4. Also, it seems really weird when you have a baby and then it just springs into a child one day. That looks particularly strange to me. It seems nicer to sort of have the actual transition, which just reflects normal life, because I quite often play realistic games, well, to a point, realistic games in The Sims. I do want to branch out and play sort of more crazy games with like weird ideas. I do have some ideas for some interesting Let's Plays that I've not seen anyone do before, but I kind of need to build my community before I start doing that, because I'd need sort of like help. Well, not help. It's not like I really need the help, it's sort of like I'd want people's input during that time so they could like create Sims for the storyline, and then they'd see their Sims within my gameplay and it'd be quite interesting, and it'd be interesting to throw in Sims that I probably would never think of making that other people have made. So I look forward to hopefully doing that in the future, all like going well with my channel, fingers crossed. Anyway, back to the build. Here I'm just adding in decorative pieces to the kitchen. I really like those shelves with the random like kettles. I don't even know what they're called. Just random bits of decor. I really think they're cute. I'd quite like to have something like that in my house, all the different little kettles and cafetières and teacups and things on. It's quite nice. And I was trying to figure out the table for here. Eventually I just go for that modern one that came with Spa Day, because it went quite nice with the shelves that come from Cool Kitchen stuff, which I put into a white, blue and yellow colour scheme to sort of complement the other colours I have going on in the room. And just adding in more little like random decor pieces here and there, sort of making it look a bit more cluttered, a bit more like a busy family would live there. Bit of a homey touch. Here is the hallway, which I believe I actually did the hallways last. So this is where I have lost all of my footage, except for the kitchen, dining room and hallways. Great. Sorry, again, there isn't much I can do about that now. Here I was having a bit of a fight with the staircase. Just trying to add in some picture frames, trying to make it look a little bit more. I'd like more to have sort of family photos there, but I didn't actually have a family to take photos to put into this house. It was sort of just a random build that I thought would be quite nice to do, and I think it'd be quite cool in the future if they released some sort of game pack or expansion pack that made it so you could have multiple occupancies on the one lot, where you could have many Sims living in the same lot but in different houses, so they wouldn't just like wander into each other's houses, which is sort of what you have to do now. You just have to sort of lock them out of each other's houses, or just let them wander around freely, which isn't very realistic and is a bit annoying. Also, people are probably not going to agree with me on this, but I personally feel if they did add some sort of apartment living aspect, that I wouldn't particularly mind if there was a loading screen when you visited your neighbours to like stop there being lots of lag from all the different items having to be loaded at once, which I know many people will probably disagree and be like, oh, I want an open neighbourhood, which it's people have different opinions. I just understand sort of the direction they went with not having open neighborhoods, because it does lag your game a lot, and then not everyone can play The Sims quite so easily, because not everyone has super high-spec computers that can handle it, and even people who have high-spec computers sometimes can't run things like that. My computer's nothing fantastic, but I've watched many other Simmers for many years, and I've seen even they have like lagging problems and crashing problems from The Sims 3, and even The Sims 3 itself, if you try run it these days, suggests that you don't use all of your stuff packs and expansion packs, which is really weird for the game to basically tell you like, I'm not gonna work if you try and do this. So I wouldn't mind having loading screens to get into each apartment, or if you could have apartments on top of retail stores or restaurants, that would be pretty cool. And then again, the loading screens would sort of help prevent the lag, because you wouldn't have to load all of the different items. Sort of like in The Sims 2, if anyone played Apartments Life in that, then you didn't actually see in other people's apartments straight away. You had to knock on the door and then it would load their apartment, and then you could go in and hang out with them and stuff. That sort of style I think could work quite well with The Sims 4. Just throwing that out there, guys. If you happen to hear this, feel free to use that idea. Anyway, Now you can see I have actually built the other 2 townhouses, and I'm just trying to figure out windows because I thought, they look too samey having all the rounded windows, so I wanted one to be kind of a more traditional old-fashioned one and one to be modern, and then the middle one is sort of just in between, like it still has some older features but it's got a more modern interior and like a modern family that live there. And the like different colours I thought would be quite nice against each other, so they didn't all have the same exterior wall covering and the same window colours and things. So the third one, which I'm currently doing the wallpaper of, is the most modern one, and I quite liked the brick against the red windows, and this one is just a plain coloured plaster one with just white wooden windows because I thought that looked quite like sort of how it would originally maybe have looked when they first were built. And if this were actually in somewhere like Amsterdam, which is sort of what I've based it off of when I went on a holiday there last year, and it was amazing, just a really beautiful place. But if this happened to actually be somewhere like that, it would have a canal pretty much right at the back of it or right at the front of it, depending on which way it was oriented. But since this is being made in The Sims 4, and The Sims 4 tends to be more of a like urban cityscape sort of area, I thought I'd give them each their own little back garden, and then I eventually shorten each garden so they also have like parking spaces at the back, because I feel like lots of apartments, especially around where I live, have sort of their own car parking spaces so they don't have to take up all of the road. Even though, yes, The Sims 4 does not actually have functioning cars, I thought it was quite a nice feature to make it a bit more realistic, and maybe one day they will have functioning cars. Who knows? We'll see. And this one, I thought it would be quite cool and quite like a modern idea to have a roof garden, so I was just trying to figure out making some sort of fire escape stairway thing, but it was a bit tricky to figure out at first, but eventually we get there, it's done. And I just thought it would be quite cool to just have that, like, so you could have like a party deck on the roof because there isn't much garden space and they're trying to sort of utilise all of the free space that they've got. And I believe after I finish messing around with this fire escape, which takes a while, I keep deleting walls by accident and replacing them, and right now I'm just putting in the columns to make it a stronger structure so it looks like it should be there rather than floating staircases, which is a bit weird. And here's where I add in the parking spaces at the back, and then I finish off doing the garden for the middle townhouse. And this video has actually been separated into 3 different parts because otherwise it would be a huge video and it'd be really long and you guys wouldn't want to watch me build just one thing for an hour because it would take forever, and who wants to sit there for an hour just watching me very quickly plopping things in and moving things around and struggling a lot. So I don't actually do the roof garden in this video, that's in the second video, and then finally in the third video I do the old-fashioned home, which takes me the longest because it's very out of my style to do traditional old-fashioned sort of what an elderly couple might live in, but I thought it'd be quite interesting to have that sort of storyline where there's the party house for the young people at one end of the street and then there's the older couple at the other end of the street who might not like the younger people moving into their area and causing ruckus, but I thought it'd be quite interesting to have that. And then there's like the family in the middle to sort of balance it out. And I'm just doing a small garden. I decided that this garden would have minimal lawn space because they might not have time with the kids and with their jobs to constantly maintain a really nice garden, so most of it is patio, and they do have a jacuzzi because I thought it'd be great. Just a nice little touch to have there for the parents to relax now and again. They do have a small bit of grass here with some plants in and some planter pots in as well if they wanted to grow their own food or if they just wanted to put some other plants in there that they just thought would look quite nice. Because I didn't want to completely turn it into a patio because it would just look a bit bleh. And also, if you do visit Amsterdam, greenery is everywhere, like growing out of buildings. Most of it is a built-up area because it's just canals and buildings everywhere, but within those buildings there are trees growing out of them and drain pipes with like ivy growing all the way up it, and just sort of there was a whole street actually when we were there across from the zoo which we went to, which is also amazing by the way. If you ever go to Amsterdam, go to the zoo. And it was just a forest in the middle of an urban area. It was really weird, but it was amazing. Like, that's one thing I really loved about Amsterdam, was they incorporate nature everywhere despite it being a built up city. So that was cool. So I kind of wanted to reflect that with these builds, and here are the screenshots actually. So now we get to see everything that you guys didn't get to see me build. Yay! So you've seen the hallway and the dining room and the kitchen, which is then followed by screenshots of the living room. Oh, no, sorry, bathroom. Then the living room, which is beige and blue, all calm. Most of the house is in this sort of colour scheme. And the lavender bedroom, teenage girl, boy if you wanted it to be. Again, blue bedroom, boy or girl, that's up to you guys. Another bathroom, the nursery, and finally the master bedroom. I will leave you guys here and hopefully have the next video up soon. If you like this video, please leave a comment down below or press the like button, and if you want to be kept up to date on many of my future builds or future Let's Plays, please subscribe. Thanks guys, bye!